A very good evening to you all then, and welcome along to the Common Club's coverage of this Premier League encounter. It's Everton against Fulham taking place at Goodison Park, and a warm welcome return to Focus on Football and Storm FM to our coverage this season of the Premier League stuff. We'll be bringing you up today with all the classified check during the half-time interval of this game, where the teams are almost ready to come out of the tunnel. It looks like it's going to be Everton's Remembrance Day Memorial Head of Remembrance Day in November, on the 11th of November. But one man who we've been looking forward to returning to the channel this afternoon is JB. He's going to be standing by during the commentary this afternoon for us on this game at Goodison Park, which is Everton against Fulham. We've got Mike Orneman and Paul James in the live chat section, and they say welcome back to JB, and Paul also says best of luck to JB today. That's what we all wish JB, but we don't need to wish him that. He always does a tremendous job when he's on the commentary for us this afternoon. The teams are about to emerge from the tunnel at Goodison Park for the first time this evening. Let me hand you over to your match commentator. He's back from a break, and a good break at that. He's back on the mic for us this afternoon, or this evening, or morning, depending where you are. He's hand over to the man in the hot seat, John JB Stuttard. It's all yours.
Thank you, Ross. Good evening, everybody. It's lovely to be back, and it's lovely to be here at Goodison Park, one of the great cathedrals of English football. Sadly, not going to be with us at the end of the season, and they're coming out. They're going to do a couple of minutes silence, and we're going to have some silence as well, as the Everton this home game is the closest game to Remembrance Sunday. Of course, they're going to lay wreaths and play the last post. But before we do that, let's just quickly run through the 2-11s. Starting with Everton, Jordan Pickford in goal. A back four of Ashley Young, James Tarkowski, Michael Keane and Vitaly Mikalenko. And then it's Abdullah Decore, Adrissa Garnagay as the two anchor men in midfield. And then it's Jack Harrison, Dwight McNeil and Ilman Ndiaye in the attacking midfield roles, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin leading the line up front. James Tarkowski, incidentally, skippers the team. Fulham with Bernd Leno there, captain in goal. Kenny Tete, Issa Diop, Calvin Bassey and Anthony Robinson across the back. I wonder if Calvin Bassey will be big spending at the back today. As regards the defensive midfielders, it's Andres Pereira and Sander Berg, the former Burnley player. Adama Traore, Emil Smith-Rowe and Alex Iwobi make up two of the front three, two of the attacking midfield three former Arsenal players, with former Wolves player Raul Jimenez up front. The referee will come to in a minute. Obviously, they're laying down wreaths. There's going to be a 2-minute silence, of course, because this is the last Everton home game closest to Remembrance Sunday. So in a second or two, we're going to pause. I will bring you the substitutes as we go along, of course, because there's so much to fit in before the start here today. And we've got to get in that 2-minute pause. Now, the players are now going to congregate towards the centre circle. They're going to link arms in just a second as the captains go to a toss-up. In fact, let me just run through the substitutes. Virginia, Patterson, O'Brien, Coleman, Branthwaite, Mangala, Lindstrom, Armstrong and Beto. From Fulham, Bender, Koeda, Reed, Wilson, Kearney, King, Sessegnon, Nunez and Reece Nelson. So we're going to take a little pause now in the commentary, and we're going to bring you live the Remembrance Sunday. The Remembrance, of course, as I say, it's the nearest Everton home game to the Armistice Day, of course. It's so we're going to just pause in memory of all the Evertonians and obviously Fulham fans who have served in the armed forces through many a World War or two, and of course the Falklands and all that Falklands, the Gulf War and all the other wars that our troops have taken part in. So we're going to pause now for a minute to pause, and then the playing of the last post. And what an absolute... I've never known such a pin drop inside Goodison Park. The silence and the last post is always something people obviously respect. And I think that's just something that's brilliant. And I think the armed forces should always be respected in any walk of life. So as the guests of the Royal Forces, the Evertonians, go off the field, let me go and bring you the referees and officials to today's game. Our referee today is John Brooks from the land of the pork pie, no less, Milton Mowbray in Leicestershire. Two assistants are Simon Bennett and Darren Cann. Lee Doherty is the fourth official, and because it's a Premier League match, if required, Stuart Atwell will be VAR. The players are going to take a knee to highlight that there is no room, absolutely, for any racism in any walk of life, as well as football, and it gets a great round of applause round at Goodison Park, and I should think so too. And Fulham are going to get us underway then, attacking the Gladys Street end to our right. And away we go then, Fulham in the white, Everton in the blue, and up and underway. And it's Fulham with the early pressure there with Raul Jimenez, who kicked off, getting the ball forward. And Everton in good form, having won their last two games. The ball goes down the right-hand channel, but it's easy for Calvin Bassey to get that ball back to. He's captain and goalkeeper tonight, Bert Leno. Live on the TCO, focus. The channels you need for this one tonight. 35 seconds gone here, and it's Leno in possession. Calvert-Lewin just tracking back, trying to charge him down. This is number 18, Pereira, getting it forward. It's knocked away. Mikalenko picks it up on the near side for Everton. We're based in the Bullens Road stand in the first for tonight's game. As the ball is now played in towards Pereira. Pereira running towards the right-hand side of the penalty area. Kenny Tete knocks the ball in, and Pereira looked as if he was pushed there, and maybe VAR might get involved there. It looked a clear push, but in fairness to the Fulham player is asking Mr. Brooks, but I think Mr. Brooks has decided it's nothing there. Well, maybe he went down a little easily, perhaps. It's definitely not I don't think VAR were going to get involved there. I thought from the first glance from where I saw it, it did look a clear push, but then when you see the replay, I can understand why John Brooks gave it no penalty. Gay in possession, Tarkowski can get it back. An old former Burnley defensive twosome today, James Tarkowski and Michael Keane. Everton, who have been in good form the last two games. They won at Ipswich last time out, and a terrific goal scored by their centre-back Michael Keane, which was an absolute... He turned, swiveled and shot, and a goal which many a good striker would have been proud of. Only one goal this season for 2 goals for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He really needs to be delivering far from a bit more than that. A player of his undoubted unfulfilled potential. As Mikalenko now picks it up on the left-hand side for Everton. In the blue, remember. McNeil, or rather, Ndiaye trying to get the ball forward. He runs out of pitch. It will be a Fulham throw-in to be taken by Kenny Tete. 0-0. 2 minutes 37 gone on the TCO and all platforms. Goodison Park, Ram Jam Pack, final season here at the old ground before they move to the docks. The new stadium on the Mersey docks for next season. Does look an impressive new stadium, I must admit. When we're coming into Liverpool this afternoon, it looked a very impressive structure. Sean Dyche is the club. Team starting the match 16th with 8 points. Starting the day, Fulham 12th with 11 points. Marco Silva, of course, formerly of Everton, of course. Fulham have only won 3 times actually on this ground in 30, winning 34 previous games home and away. But they've only won 3 times, as I say, at Goodison Park in Premier League history. In all-time head-to-heads between the two sides, they've played 34 times. Everton have had the better of the victories. Everton with 18 victories, Fulham with 12 wins. and only 4 draws. So the odds are going to be stacked in favour of one of these two teams getting a result here at Goodison Park today. Watch, it might be a 0-0 draw now. 4 minutes gone, and don't forget, if you are on the TCR platforms tonight, which is Focus on Football, Storm FM, and TCR itself, you can contribute to our programme tonight. Keep the comments clean, though. We are a family show. Michael Keane on the left-hand side gets it forward for Everton. Loses the ball. Pereira wins the header, and then Keane, under no great pressure, heads the ball back into his penalty area, where Jordan Pickford can pick up. And Everton, who have had a tendency to blow away 2-goal leads in the past. There was one such occasion, I think, earlier this season against Bournemouth when they went 2 up. And I think it was Calvert-Lewin who missed a great chance to put them 3-0 up. And then Bournemouth in the last sort of 10 minutes came back with 3 goals to stun Goodison Park. And at that time, Everton just couldn't buy a win. They've had a couple now, and the confidence is oozing. A foul there by Mikolenko, and a free kick to Fulham inside their own half. There's John Brooks from Melbury, the referee. FIFA on the FIFA list of officials this season. Really come up the ranks as Johnny Brooks. Decent referee. And of course, we've got Stuart Atwell on VAR, Luton Town's greatest fan, if that's to be believed. But it's a good game, good prospect, and I think there'll be goals in this. I'm quietly confident today that we'll see some goals. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And it's really sad that Goodison Park is going at the end of the season, because it's a great ground, and it's one of the more traditional grounds. Of course, Archibald Leach was the man who designed it all those years ago. And there's still a lot of his structuremanship out there around the ground. Ball deflects. Pickford is outside the box. He'll have to kick it out of touch into the Mullins Road stand on the near side, and out for a throw with Raul Jimenez very close at hand there. So a Fulham throw in midway inside the Everton half. Remember, Fulham attacking the Gladys Street end in the first half. And here's Kenny Tete near side, gets the ball in from the right-hand side. And Jimenez turns and shoots, and then gets his shot away right-footed. But it's into the arms of Jordan Pickford, who just had to reach a touch, the England goalkeeper. And he did very, very well. Lovely 1-2 as Kenny Tete played a looping ball which deceived Tarkowski and Ashley Young. In fact, he got between the pair of them, and then tried to sort of slice it with the outside of his foot. And fortunately for Everton, Jordan Pickford was on hand to gather the ball, no problem. The ball's gone out of play to touch him. The near side, mid-zone inside the Everton half. Well, Fulham throw in. Fulham looking very, very good at the start of this first half. Don't forget, if you joined us late, no goals, but just to remind you, this game is only available on these platforms: the Commentary Hub, Focus on Football, and Storm FM. If you want to listen to the game, those are the 3 platforms we would like you to choose from here. So we're available on 3 channels tonight. So if you want to listen to the game, you can on those 3 platforms I mentioned. Don't forget our website. Don't forget our Twitter handle at Commentary Live 1. And of course our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/The Commentary Hub. And it's scrolling along in the ticker at the bottom of our screen. As here's Dwight McNeil, the former Burnley man, gets the ball forward, looking towards Calvert-Lewin, who's stolen a yard here, and he's onside. Calvert-Lewin inside the box, he goes down. Referee John Brooks didn't want to know. Ball over the top, down the Everton left. Calvert-Lewin was onto it like a flash. It didn't look a foul from first glance. It just looked at a fair shoulder charge. And I think John Brooks saw it that way, and I thought that was very sensible refereeing. Here's James Tarkowski on halfway for Everton. Starting to creep into the game a little bit more. Keane now to number 27, which is Idrissa Gueye. Now number 10, Ndiaye has it. Good football this from Everton. Young joins in the attack. Now the far side. Harrison to McNeil. On the right-hand side this time. Harrison gets the ball back. The former Leeds man chips it in, but it's in the no man's land. And former Arsenal player Bernd Leno can take possession of that, no problem at all. There's the... Now, just looking at the replay there. Calvert-Lewin's push touch just deceived him. There's minimal contact there. I don't think Bassey does anything wrong, if I'm being honest. I think he just stands his ground, to be frank with you. And if you are... we've got some comments flooding in, of course. We've got Mike and Paul that are listening to us tonight. As Raul Jimenez gets the ball out. Here's a chance for the cross coming in. It was Adama Traore with the cross, the former Wolves man. And here, Everton again. This is Harrison, the other number 11. On the far side again, up against Anthony Robertson this time. And Robinson did really well. And gets the ball back to big Calvin Bassey, who then in turn gets the ball to Issa Diop. Fulham playing some good stuff this season. I think they deserve to be a little bit higher than the 12th place they are. That'll please Barry Swain that I'm saying this. They've got some very good players as the cross comes in and over on the far side. And Ashley Young knocks it out for a throw. 0-0 if you just joined us on all TCR platforms. JB here, John Stuttard is your commentator for tonight. Don't forget, tomorrow will be with the other Merseyside club, Liverpool, as they make the trip down the M6 and the M1 to North London, no less. That's going to go out of play for an Everton throw in line with the original area. Just to remind you that we do have another commentary game tomorrow. Paul James will be on the mic for you tomorrow afternoon around about 20 past 4 for the big one. Arsenal against Liverpool from the Emirates. So don't forget to join us on the same three channels as you're here in the game tonight. 0-0 as the throw comes in. Calvert-Lewin just losing possession there a fraction. And the ball knocked forward again by Emile Smith-Rowe. Big coup for Fulham to get here in the summer, I have to say. Kenny Tete has it on the right. Good game this in the making. It's Calvin Bassey getting out to the far side. And Anthony Robinson now. Back in field to Iwobi. Alex Iwobi now. And that deflects, and it will be a Fulham throw-in. Just past the halfway mark of the Everton half. About 10 yards, maybe 15 yards from the edge of the area on the left-hand side. And that's out of play once again. So Anthony Robinson will try again. Throw to Smith-Rowe and then back to Robinson. And again, Fulham, I think just deciding that they're going to be patient here at this point. And it really is fantastic that we're watching this game here for you today. It's just absolutely amazing here. And don't forget, you can listen to us here as the ball comes forward. Chances inside the penalty area. And it was a good run in there by Pereira. He made a terrific dart. McNeil trying to go on the break, but Bassey saw him off. Now Smith-Rowe, midway inside the Everton half on the left-hand side. Uses Robinson. Now Smith-Rowe, he's got Iwobi close at hand. Goes back to Bassey. Bassey looks, pirouettes, turns. As the ball comes in, and here's Smith-Rowe in behind. Mike's got a comment about Smith-Rowe. Well, we've seen this corner out, so we've got a break in play. There's a couple of comments from Mike, but Fulham have a corner, and that's the first and foremost that we've got to deal with first. As Pereira is up there, Smith-Rowe is in there too. Right, it's not a corner, it's a goal kick. So, so much for the corner. It wasn't. Media, JDO, Jingles and Gaming says hello, Ross and again, and of course, welcome back again, JB. Thank you very much indeed. Mike says we look to get a website made in due course, JB. It's a good shout, to be fair. I said that by accident, Mike, but it would be a nice thing to have a website as well. But it's a lot of expense to put a website together, I know, guys. Started very well for his new club. This is on Emile Smith-Rowe. Showing his class in a few games already this season. I couldn't agree with you more, Mike. Anyway, here's Harrison now, deep inside Fulham territory. 0-0 if you just joined us on all TCL platforms. Drisigan now gets it out to Vitaly Mikalenko, the Ukrainian. Now Drisigan plays that ball in now. Robinson, not Robertson, gets it away. I must say Robinson and not Robertson. Yes, before you guys start writing in the comment section, I'm getting it wrong. I do realise that. Anyway, here's Michael Keane on the ball now for Everton. Swings a lovely ball over to the far side, and unfortunately, Jack Harrison, a very accomplished player, came through the ranks, of course, at Leeds United, you may remember. Well, Russell certainly do. Can't keep it in place, so a throw in. And on today's programme, of course, as well as the live match tonight, we've got the full classified check with Russ Vernon during the half-time sequence a little bit later on for you. So don't forget, don't go off and have a cup of tea. Listen to our full classified check. And Russ Vernon will bring that to you in our half-time segments. 1 hour gone. Here's just again now for Everton. Starting to have a little bit more of possession. Here's James Tarkowski on the far side. Ashley Young now looking for options and runners. Calvert-Lewin, good ball if he can find Harrison, but Robinson rather read the situation well. Fulham a little bit scrapping defence. Diop gets it back, and now big, bulky Calvin Bassey loses possession, but then it's won back, and Emile Smith-Rowe bravely breaks away from his own penalty area and gets it to halfway, where it's played over the halfway line towards the right-hand side. Kenny Tete going in with a challenge with Ndiaye, and Ndiaye gives that ball away. Both teams just giving it away cheaply at the moment. But it looks a good game. Two good sides who will like to attack. Sean Dyche, you know what you're going to get. Defensive steel, you think. They have leaked a few goals, but they did keep a clean sheet last time out at Portman Road against Ipswich, where they won by 2-0. A very impressive result for Everton when they needed it most. But they're still above there. Just to remind you of all the other scores, we've had some dramatic games in the Premier League this year, I have to tell you. And well, we've had some terrific games, plenty of goals in all of them. These were from 3 o'clock. This, of course, you knew about Forest winning at Leicester last night. Forest at that time moved up to 5th. Villa have dropped points against Bournemouth. The team that are leading the Champions League stage, the league stage in the Champions League, have drawn against Bournemouth. A 96-minute equaliser as we see a free kick given against Adama Traore. Free kick to Everton, which they get over, or try to get over halfway, but it's been deflected. Mikalenko's clearance is coming to the Papa Smith-Rowe. Smith-Rowe trying to take it on the edge of the area, lost control of the ball, and Everton get it clear. A real game down at the Brentford Community Stadium. 4-3 to Brentford, a terrific game. Ipswich were actually 2 goals up in that game. Brentford didn't score their customary first or second minute goals in that one, incidentally, just before you ask. Brighton and Wolves got shared the spoils of a 2-2 draw. Good result that for Wolves. And Manchester City laboured, and I mean laboured, to a 1-0 victory over Southampton at the Etihad Stadium this afternoon. Don't forget, there's other fixtures taking place tomorrow, and you'll see and you'll know about those for the TCM as well. As Jordan Pickford kicks the post in frustration because Everton have given cheap possession away. They're giving a cheap corner away here, and Marco Silva's men just frustrating Everton a little bit here. It was a throw-in, in fact. Nothing came of it in the end, but they claim handball, Everton. I think it would have been rather harsh for giving handball. Was in the middle of the Everton half. When it struck the arm, or appears to strike the arm, it looked more to hand to me. Bassey gets it forward, still 0-0. Free kick to Fulham. So 4 other fixtures taking place tomorrow. 3 games at 2 o'clock UK time. Chelsea, Newcastle, Crystal Palace against Tottenham. Palace yet to win this season. And West Ham against Manchester United. And of course, with us on you'll hear all the results from those 3 games before TCO commentary of Arsenal against Liverpool from the Emirates Stadium. That's coming up for you at 4:30 tomorrow afternoon. Make a note, 4:30 on TC Hub, Storm FM and Focus on Football. That's with Paul James in the commentary box. 19 minutes gone here in the tea time kickoff at Goodison Park. 9 minutes gone. 0-0 between Everton and Fulham. If we get some excitement that we've seen in the other 3 o'clock kickoffs, in the other 4 games that we've seen so far, that have been played so far, then we could well be in for a right old treat, folks. Smith Rowe in possession now for Fulham. Gets it back to big Calvin Bassey. He's not a big spender. He's a very big spender in terms of his muscular weight. There's no doubt about that. As the ball comes forward again. Now then, Kenny Tete. Can he get the ball down the line? Oh, he has a lot of Adama Traore there down that right-hand side. He just couldn't keep it in by the dead ball line. And with 20 minutes gone, it's still goalless. But Fulham, 50% of their attacking play has been down the right, 35% the left, and 15% down the middle. But the right-hand side looks like the best bet in terms of trying to create something special. And a couple of Tete's crosses have caused 1 or 2 problems. But still, it remains goalless here at Goodison Park. And you can tell that winter is starting to drift in rather rapidly here. We're in autumn now. Of course, I think go back tonight, so you get an extra hour in bed. I think that's how it works. And then we'll be into proper winter time. We've got the winter ball as well, incidentally. Got that fluorescent yellow ball into play for the first time this season. So Nike have brought out a very colourful Premier League fluorescent yellow ball. And we'll see that now for the next 4 or 5 months over the winter months here in the Premier League. Starting today, of course. Ball over the top. Mikalenko's there, and here comes Jordan Pickford to take that fluorescent, very colourful fluorescent yellow and red with a bit of purple there in his hands. Possession won in the final third. Everton have won no possession. Fulham have won possession in the final third 4 times. Pointless statistic, I know. But it's 0-0, and I've got to keep entertaining you. And if I have to put in endless stats and facts, so be it. It's not been a bad game. Just needs a goal to lighten the blue touch paper a little bit here at Goodison Park this evening. As Ashley Young goes ambling forward, and so too did Sikori, but he's lost possession. Here's a Welby playing it in there towards Raul Jimenez round the corner. And Pereira was up there on the edge of the area too for Fulham. Kenny Tete has possession on the right-hand side. Tete, good boundless run away from McNeil and away from Ndiaye, but Ndiaye snaps back at him. And in the end, Fulham's attack breaks down, but they have kept possession. First for Adama Traore, and now with Sanderberg, number 16, who impressed in what was a desperate season for Burnley last season. Only 5 wins all season, but he was one of the main centerpieces, one of the few bright lights in Burnley's season last year. As the ball comes into the penalty area, missed everybody bar Jordan Pickford, who was able to take it cleanly in his 6-yard area, and he kicks away up towards Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who I have to say looks a bit languid at the moment. Not getting enough service, perhaps, that Sean Dyche will want him to get. And if you're wondering if what Sean Dyche is wearing these days, he's ditched the shirt and tie look. He's a tracksuited manager these days. Got on the days of the shirt and tie when he used to wear with great distinction at Burnley. There he is now, all tracksuited with the Nike trainers on. Marco Silva, exactly the same. We've had halfway through the first half, 23 and a half minutes here on the TC Hub. And it's Everton 0, Fulham 0. Still a long way to go in this game. I think we could be in for a good... I still think there's going to be goals. Everton get the throw in. Mikalenko takes it quickly to Dwight McNeil. Then Ndiaye takes charge. He goes down. Mr. Brooks, Johnny on the spot, gives the free kick. And now there is a chance on here, possibly from the set piece for Everton. Don't forget, we'll have FA Cup commentaries next week, first round proper. We're hoping to bring you 5 commentaries from the, at least, hopefully, maximum of 5 commentaries from the first round next week. You know the season's kicking in when the first round of proper of the FA Cup comes into being. As the free kick comes in from number 7 there, which is Dwight McNeil. Into the mix once again. Header won by the Corey inside the penalty area. But it was a tame header and an easy one there for Leno, who will get Fulham away. And it's Anthony Robinson, Robinson going at his men. It's a good run this by the American. Anthony Robinson in towards Smith Rowe on the edge of the area. He goes down. John Brooks says no. I thought that looked a foul from first glance. That did look a foul there. A couple of Evertonians just tumbling over each other. Maybe a lot of few afters afterwards. John Brooks standing for no nonsense at this moment in time. Just seeing whether that... No, he went down too easy there, Emil Smith Rowe. I've got to admit, that certainly was a foul there and there. And in the end, I think the referee was absolutely right. We'll come to Paul in a second. Here's Tete hooving it forward for Fulham. And here's Adama Traore. Good game this. Just needs a goal really to light the blue touch paper. Can Alex Iwobi produce a bit of magic on the left-hand side? Iwobi takes on Harrison. He's got Young there too supporting him in defence. But Fulham keep possession. It's Pereira to Tete. Tete back inside. Uses Diop. Return uses Bassi. Bassi gets it out to the far side. And Iwobi, the former Arsenal player, keeps possession well. Uses the American Robinson. Now Iwobi gets a lovely ball from left to right flank. And this is Adama Traore. He'll have another run here at James Tarkowski and Vitaly Mikalenko. Ball was a poor one though. It was very, very flat, but very, very poor. And he gets a second opportunity. Infield to Pereira. Now Kenny Tete, who's also looked lively down that right-hand channel. Everton have got to plug the gaps, I feel, down that Fulham right-hand channel, the near side channel, because this is where they're getting the most joy. Sanderberg now, one of the 2 holding midfielders. Smith Rowe has lost it, but Berg won it back. Here's Calvin Bassey. Runs about 15 yards forward. Finds Iwobi on the far side. But Iwobi chips the ball in. And it's chested down, well, I said coolly by Mikalenko. It could be a problem here for Everton. The shot comes in from Adama Traore to the right-hand side of goal. And Jordan Pickford at the near post had beaten it out, but still Fulham aren't finished yet. Smith Rowe from 6 yards volleys it over the bar. Some good work again. A cross coming in from the right-hand channel. It was headed back to the edge of the 6-yard area. And Emil Smith Rowe couldn't take advantage. This was the first effort for Adama Traore. In fairness, it would have took a miracle to beat the goalkeeper at the near post. And then Pereira crossed it back from the right. Headed back across by Jimenez. And Emil Smith Rowe just had to keep it down. Good save from Pickford in the initial effort. And then Everton made a complete dog's dinner of clearing it. Jimenez knocked the cross back. And in the end, Smith Rowe got very much underneath it. And that should have been the opening goal for Fulham. With 27 minutes gone, ball back to Jordan Pickford. Paul James has been on. Paul says, interesting start to the game. Chances are at a premium. Well, we've just seen 2 in the last 30 seconds. Both to the same team, Fulham, in the team in white. You remember, in 1975, they reached the FA Cup final and they beat Everton 2-0 at Goodison Park that day. In those days, they had the likes of Viv Busby, Bobby Moore, Alan Slow in their side. And they were done by West Ham, of course. Rodney Marsh and George Best would come the next year. And there's a famous game against Fulham you may well want to watch on YouTube. It's absolutely worth half an hour of your time if you're a football fan, because those two on their own on that day, yes, it was a second division game and Hereford were the visitors, but Best and Marsh really had a very, very good day back in 1975-76. They tore defences apart. They were just superb. If you've got a spare half hour, watch the highlights back from the 70s with Marsh and Best in Fulham shirts. Anyway, back to the present, and it's a corner kick taken by McNeil for Everton. It was the top scorer with 3 goals, headed away by the Fulham defenders, and it's sucked over the top. And Ashley Young should do that. The defending, no problem at all. Get it back to Jordan Pickford. Safety first in every conceivable way. 29 minutes gone here at Goodison. Don't forget, Russ Burning will be your half-time host. He'll have all the full-time scores from around the country. I'm not a very happy claret today because Burnley laboured, if you could call it that order, was frustrated by a very negative QPR team today. And I have to say, having looked at some of the footage, QPR came to Turf Moor for a draw, but I think less said soon as mended. I still think we're second in actual fact, we're still in second place. So the only damage done is that Sunderland have gone further ahead. They had a good win today against Oxford. But Russ will give you more details in our classified check at half time. Half an hour gone then at Goodison Park, and it's Everton 0, Fulham 0. And really, just one goal will bring this game to life. Possession for the last 5 minutes, Everton with 59% and Fulham with 41%. Bassey gets it back to his goalkeeper, Leno. And now on to Diop, who moves away from the penalty area, just to the left of the D. Or to the right of the D, I should say. Don't forget, if you are commenting, please keep your comments clean. This game being brought to you live on these 3 platforms, participating TCO platforms. And this all goes for Premier League games. TCO itself, focus on football, and Storm FM. As there's the fewest touches caption coming on my screen. Dominic Calvert-Lewin leads the list with Poultry, 8 touches. This is Ndiaye. He's going to have more than 5 or 6 touches here on his little run. Comes to McNeil inside the area. Decore is there. Justin Garnegay, you can't hit him. Justin Garnegay hits the bar. Calvert-Lewin! That's put it in the back of the net. And that was only his 9th touch of the game. And he scored. Or has he? Or has he? The goal has been ruled out. The goal has been ruled out for offside. They'll check it on the VAR. Let's see. I think he's level. I honestly think Kenny Tete is playing him onside. I think this is going to have to go to VAR. And it is VAR. Now they'll be drawing the lines here from the first angle on the 18-yard line. It did look offside, but we're seeing this from the opposite end of the ground. This is in the main stand, so it's pretty high up. I can't tell. There's, well, we'd have to Stuart Atwell to draw the lines and get this right. Sean Dyche will be hoping that he is onside and the goal will stand. From the 18-yard line, camera, no goal. I think, well, we didn't get the lines drawn, but I think from that angle, that opposite end angle, I think told its whole story. I think he just straight offside, but from the 18-yard line, I must confess, I thought he looked on, but that was a close one there, too close to call, and Fulham survive. So Calvert-Lewin did not score with only his 9th touch. Here's Kenny Tete on a terrific run. Tete in the area, shoots right-footed and over the top from outside the edge of the area. That was an inspired run. He must have run about 60 yards, cutting from the right-hand side, got to the right-hand edge of the D, and then absolutely went for glory, only clearing the crossbar by not too much in the end. Goal kick given. It remains 0-0, but it's a good watch. A very good watch indeed. Just to remind you, the big incident, Dominic Calvert-Lewin has had a goal chalked out for offside. But as I say, it remains goalless. But it's been an absolute joy to watch this and commentate on. But still, we await the opening goal of this game. As Ndiaye goes down, it's just a guard again who hit the bar in the initial build-up. Now then, can Harrison reach this? There's two players gone down in the area. Calvert-Lewin up again, and he's headed away by Berg for a corner. Everton really got into this in the last sort of 10 minutes or so. Fulham a bit ragged in defence. Jack Harrison worked a miracle to get it into the penalty area. Calvert-Lewin could only knock it back. I think he was looking for Trezeguet towards the far post. And McNeil was there, close at hand as well. Calvert-Lewin, the top scorer with 3 goals this season. He's got to take the corner. He's got it short. Ndiaye, McNeil, has he stayed onside? Yes, he has. McNeil's cross is flat across the deck from the left-hand side. It's charged away. Still it remains 0-0. Trezeguet to Harrison. And Michael Keane now. Michael Keane wins another corner. Everton creeping into this game more and more with 10 minutes of the first half to play. Plus any additional time, of course. Been a good watch, this. Very enjoyable, but still no goals. Remember, Dominic Calvert-Lewin's goal has been chalked out for offside. But that's given Everton a bit more of a confidence boost. And it's certainly there. Certainly there last 10 minutes for sure. Calvert-Lewin. The corner from McNeil didn't really reach the near post. And McNeil has actually been beaten on the second ball by Alex Iwobi. And that's really good play. Good defending there. And Iwobi does really, really well. But then gives the ball away to Ndiaye. And Ndiaye now running forward. But again, good tackle again. And here comes Adama Traore. He's got Jimenez, his former Wolves teammate, out to the right-hand side. It's Jimenez inside the area. On the right-hand side, Jimenez shoots. Charged away. He cut in from the right-hand side. Went for the right foot as well. Tried to toe poke the shot. Didn't come off. Cross coming in from Kenny Tete. And it's knocked away once more. But still, no breakthrough here at Goodison Park. But we're getting closer and closer and closer to a goal. Pereira now in possession. Goes back to Issa Diop. And now big Calvin Bassey. On the centre circle. On the halfway line, Berg. Finds Tete on the right-hand side. Has to pirouette, and all he sees really as options is 2 defenders, which one was Tete, the other being Calvin Bassey. Ball knocked forward again, looking towards Pereira, but Everton defending Statwick. Jenderbergs with a terrific burst. He wanted a free kick. Referee Brooks said nothing doing it. Tarkowski not once but twice makes a complete Horlicks. Hitting it first against Berg and then against another Fulham player. Now the ball knocked forward. Calvert-Lewin's offside. And the free kick has been given to Fulham. Well, it was Michael Keane who got the challenge in here. As Raul Jimenez shaped to attempt to put Fulham one up here. Did very, very well. Got a seal of approval from his goalkeeper. Fulham in possession now. Inside the last 7 minutes. Plus any injury or stoppage time. McNeil wins possession on halfway on the right-hand side. It's been an amazing first half so far. Decore finds Trezeguet. Return finds Michael Keane. Keane looks for options, looks for runners. Finds one here in Ndiaye. Mikalenko making a good run. Ndiaye's cross is dangerous. It's headed away. And then the ball headed back in with great interest by Ashley Young, but the ball comes nicely for Bernd Leno. So 38 gone, 38 and a half minutes got here on all on the TCL Focus on Football and Storm FM, and still we await the first goal here. In the 4 Premier League fixtures that preceded this game, I can now tell you the grand total of goals scored was amounting to 14 goals scored over 4 fixtures, one apiece between Villa and Bournemouth, 4-3 Brentford against Ipswich, Brighton and Wolves in an entertaining 2-2 draw, and Manchester City labouring to a 1-0 victory over Southampton. Remember, both sides in the bottom half of the table at the start of play. Fulham were 12 with 11 points. Everton were 16th with 8 points. So real massive opportunity for one of these two teams. Rowe on the far side to Everton. Still no goals here. Smith Rowe wins possession inside the Everton half. Berg in possession. Looks for support. Gets a little deflection on the through ball. Balls favourably Paul Michael Keane, who makes right. Well, let's get it back. Let's be safe. Let's play safe and get it back to Jordan Pickford. Just to remind you, Ross Burnham will be doing the half-time classifieds at half-time, of course. And then tomorrow we've got another big commentary for you on the TCM. 4:20 we start. Paul James will be your commentator. Arsenal against the other Merseyside club, of course, Liverpool. Mikalenko playing it in! And a good header by McNeil. And it's headed straight at Bert Leno. But Mikalenko with a good cross in there from the left-hand side. It was a lovely ball in. And McNeil stole in beyond Anthony Robinson. Either side of Leno. That's 1-0 Everton. Main's goalless here. But we're getting chances. Maybe the words of Paul James have sprung this game into life in terms of goal-scoring creativity, even if they're not being taken thus far. We're inside the final 4 minutes. Dwight McNeil with his last 6 appearances. Scored against Villa away from home in a 3-2 defeat. Scored against Crystal Palace in a big win there. As the ball gets fed towards the far side, and it could soon come here to Smith Rowe. Out came Pickford like lightning to spread himself like an eagle and get the ball out of play for a corner for Fulham. Adama Traore teasing cross. Teased everybody inside the area. Emil Smith Rowe's touch a little bit heavy perhaps. But he had the best chance really for Fulham. Volleying over from 6 yards when he should have really kept that down and scored. Pereira with the Fulham corner. Still remains 0-0 if you've just joined us. 3 minutes plus stoppage time to play of normal time. Here comes the corner. Into the mix, here it goes. Key with a bullet header, getting that one away. But it's only come out as far as a Welby, right-hand side. There's still overload inside the penalty area. Fulham going for this opening goal here. Pereira has it far side, who took the original corner. Pereira looking to get the angle in there for a cross, and in came, I think it was Diop, the centre-back, who got the header in the end, which went zooming over the top of the bar and into the Goodison Street end for a goal kick to Everton. Look, I got a good angle in for the cross there, didn't he? In the end, Issa Diop just couldn't keep his header down, and as I said, went whizzing over the bar into the Goodison Street end. This is the effort from Jussa Gay. Look at that. Forget about the aftermath, but how good was that effort by Jussa Gay? Smashes the bar. Did this cross the line? It obviously didn't. But from that first angle, Calvert-Lewin looked level. But as we saw from a different angle, a still angle from the far side, the main stand, the 3-tier main stand opposite us, then I can understand why Stuart Atwell disallowed it. Stuart Atwell was our man on the VAR this afternoon, or this evening rather. 6:15 in the evening here, and the Knights, you can tell now We're heading into winter time. The nights are drawing in thick and fast. But at the moment, Everton 0, Fulham 0. As we approach the final minute of normal time at the end of the first half. This is a Welby now. Playing the ball back across. Berg in possession. Now Kenny Tetty. No, will he use Adama Traore once again? You bet he will. Here is Adama Traore on the right. Uses Tetty to just slowed it down to walking football pace. Here's Pereira. Oh, lovely ball in behind. Now this could be a real problem for Everton. Adama Traore with a good cross, and they've got an overload here. And Welby smashing it over from 7 yards out. With his left foot, it was a lazy shot in the end. He got too much underneath it and almost lazily had the ball smashed over the bar, sent it whizzing into the top tier of the Gladys Street. For a goal kick to Everton when Fulham really should have scored from that. Well, it looks as if it's going to be goalless at the end of the first half. We'll have to see what Luke Doherty, the fourth official, will say in terms of injury and stoppage time. 1 minute. Well, Jimenez doesn't think it should be a minute. Probably thinks it should be more than that. Well, it is what it is. Marco Silva will be one with his team. Haven't got to go up. They have had better chances, but then again, you'll be relieved that they haven't got to go down in the same instance. Sean Dyche will be possibly the Pierre of the two managers, I would fancy at this stage. 30 seconds of the 1 minute to go. I should stress it's a minimum of. So if there was a major incident in the next sort of 20-30 seconds or so, John Brooks could play on a little bit longer if he wanted to. But I doubt it's going to be any more than a minute now. Pickford just walking pace out of his goal. He'll kick clear, and surely that must be that. 4 seconds. That's all there is left of stoppage time. They'll allow for this attack now. And it might come for Calvert-Lewin inside the area. And it's tucked away. And then John Brooks, right on cue, blows for the end. Well, the main talking point will be, should Calvert-Lewin's goal have stood? The VAR chalked it off, but from the first angle, the 18-yard line camera angle, he looked on, but then the opposite angle showed a completely different view. That Calvert-Lewin is straight offside. And well, it's Mr. Glorious opportunity. Smith, well, was Mr. Gilted's chance on the volley. Just again, in the same move which saw the disallowed goal disallowed, hit the crossbar. We certainly said it was a quiet 20 minutes or so, but it's certainly livened up in the second half of the first half. But at the moment, Russ, as we hand you back to the half-time interval where the classifiers will be done, it's Everton 0, Fulham 0.
Thank you very much, JB, John Stuttard there. Excellent first-half commentary on his return to the commentary, and we don't expect anything less from the man who we've got in the commentary booth this afternoon. We're staying with you to guide you through the half-time break. We'll read you some of the comments out in just a second or two, but what we'll do as well, we'll bring you up the classified check from today's matches. And before I do that, let me just read some comments from Paul James towards the end. He says, it's developed into a very entertaining game. And he said, good grief, that was a gilt-edged chance a few moments ago, just before the half-time interval. Let's run you through the classified checks then, starting off with the Premier League. Aston Villa 1, AFC Bournemouth 1, Brentford 4, Ipswich Town 3, Brighton of Albion 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Manchester City 1, Southampton 0, Everton v Fulham, evening kick-off at 5:30. EFL Championship. Bristol City 0, Leeds United 0, Burnley 0, QPR 0, Coventry City 3, Luton Town 2, Derby County 1, Hull City 1, Plymouth Argyle 3, Preston North End 3, Sheffield United 2, Stoke City 0, Sunderland 2, Oxford United 0. Swansea City 0. Millwall 1. Watford 1. Blackburn Rovers 0. And West Bromwich Albion 0. Cardiff City 0. EFL League 1. With the scores in there for you. It finished Bolton Wanderers 1. Peterborough United 0. Cambridge United 1. Burton Albion 0. Charlton Athletic 2. Wrexham 2. Huddersfield Town 2. Exeter City 0. Lincoln City 2. Stockport County 1. Mansfield Town 1. Birmingham City 1. Northampton Town 3. Crawley Town 0. Reading 1. Bristol Rovers 0. Rotherham United 2. Stevenage 0. Shrewsbury Town 0. Barnsley 2. Wycombe Wanderers 3. Leyton Orient 0. League 2. Accrington Stanley 0. Walsall 0. Bradford City 1. Youngster Rovers 2. Bromley 1. Barrow 1. Carlisle United 0. Cheltenham Town 1. Alexandra 3. Tranmere Rovers 1. Colchester United 1. Salford City 2. Grimsby Town 1. Milton Keynes Dons 3. Morecambe 2. Chesterfield 5. Newport County 0. Fleetwood Town 0. Notts County 1. Harrogate Town 0. Port Vale 3. AFC Wimbledon 2. Swindon Town 1. Gillingham 1. National League. Barnet 2. Rochdale 1. Braintree Town 0. Sutton United 1. Eastleigh 1. Boston United 1. Ebbsfleet United 2. Wiltstone 2. Gateshead 1. Solihull Moors 0. Halifax Town 1. York City 2. Hartlepool United 2. Aldershot 0. Oldham Athletic 1. Eggenham Redbridge 0. Southend United 2. Tamworth 0. Woking 1. Forest Green Rovers 1. Yeovil Town 3. Maidenhead United 1. AFC Fylde versus Altrincham. Late kick-off at 5:30. Scottish Premiership. Dundee 1. St Johnstone 2. Ross County 2. Kilmarnock 1. Aberdeen versus Dundee United. Evening kick-off at 5:30. Scottish Championship. Airdrieonians 0. Ayr United 1. Falkirk 2. Dunfermline Athletic 1. Hamilton Academical 3. Greenock Morton 0. Livingston 2. Raith Rovers 1. Queen's Park 0. Partick Thistle 1. Scottish League 1. Alloa Athletic 0. Arbroath 1. Dumbarton 3. Inverness Caledonian Thistle 1. Montrose 0. Cove Rangers 2. Stenhousemuir 2. Celtic Arts 1. And an Athletic versus Queen of the South. Evening kick-off at 5:30. Scottish Cup second round selected ties. Wrekin City 3. Huntly 2. East 5-0. Banks O'Dear 1. East Kilbride 3. Bonnyrigg Rose 1. Elgin City 1. Clyde 1. Elgin City win A7 on penalties. Farfar Athletic 1. Berwick Rangers 0. Jeanfield Swifts 1. Edinburgh City 1. Edinburgh City win 5-4 on penalties. Peterhead 6. Lockheed United 3. Spartans 1. Cowden Beath 2. and Stirling Albion 6, Bournemouth Athletic 0. They're your classified checks from the Premier League down to Scotland this evening. And what we're going to do right now, we've got a bit of time before the start of the second half, is going to be kicking off at Goodison Park. We're going to hear from Pep Guardiola, the Manchester City manager, who, during his interview this evening, turned around and says that Southampton are one of the best in the Premier League this evening. So here is what Manchester City boss Pep Guardiola said after the game this evening, where he was speaking to the BBC following their victory, which was 1-0 over Southampton this afternoon.
Job done. Every game you need to win. You've won this one. A hard day though, wasn't it? Really, they made it really hard.
Yeah. The way they play, they're so demanding. Normally in 2 or 3 actions, 3-4 seconds, we have the ball. They defend with the ball. The people believe that to defend it means 10 players behind the ball, but you can defend with the ball, and they are really, really good. One of the best teams in the Premier League. We know in terms of passes, the second or third. They didn't create my chances. They make a 2 or 3 transitions, the shoots, but we create a lot. And unfortunately, we could not score the second. We're busy, but big credit to them. So it's not because we were sloppy or we were flat. I don't have that feeling. I think we were there, and sometimes they are good. So we have to accept that and happy for that.
Another extraordinary goal, not as spectacular as he got in the week, but he's just got this massive hunger. If a half chance comes in, a hunger for goal after goal after goal.
Yeah, it's true. It's not easy for him, but every cross is penalty with Erling. Every cross is penalty. The way they pull him and take it, but in that moment they won the action and it was important. We create more. We couldn't score the second, but Erling is a guarantee for us.
What's your verdict on your wide players today, Savinho and Mateus
Really
Nunes?
good, really good. Savinho was so create all the good chances, right to left, Luke Belin left, hold by line in the crosses. So I would say it's really, really good. And Mateo's in a position that maybe it's not his natural position again. So defensively, offensively, make another assist. So 1 goal in 3 assists in 2 games. So he played really good.
And I said in the commentary, I was talking about Kovacic, and I said, no, people, Rodri's irreplaceable. There is only one Rodri. We know that. But this man has won World Club Championships. He's won European Champions League. He's an extraordinary player for you to have in there.
Of course he is. He's an incredible man and a player. Of course, Rodri will be missed a lot this season. Rodri is a so important player, but now we have to wish him the best recovery and be calm, and at the same time you have to continue to do it.
Another one comes up for you in the week against Tottenham Hotspur. Will any of your injured players be available for that one?
But I don't think so. But you have just 14 players, so we'll see. We'll see what happens next game. It's a competition to make a turnover. Because in this calendar for many years, 11 games, the Carabao Cup is just to play with the other ones. We'll see. We play with academy players, so we'll see how they. I would say they come back, fresh from that, and we'll see.
There was the thoughts of Pep Guardiola speaking to the BBC's reporter this evening, which sounded like Jonathan Pearce there, which was doing the commentary for Match of the Day later on, which is on the BBC in the UK if you want to watch that one and listen to and watch the highlights of that one, or wherever you get your highlights packages from there. Comments in here from Media Radio Jingles and Gaming. He says interesting results for Everton at half time. The man win this game as they've beaten Ipswich in their last game, despite having a bad start. He thinks Everton could stay in the Premier League next season, and he says he agrees with Paul that it was an entertaining game so far, despite no goals happening in that game. What we'll do at the end of the game, since we've heard from Manchester City boss Pep Guardiola there, we'll listen to the interview where Russell Martin speaks to the same man, Jonathan Pearce, there after the game for the BBC, where he believes, Russell Martin, that Southampton should have more points on the board in the Premier League. This is following their now a 1-0 defeat to Manchester City earlier on this evening. We were almost ready for the second half to get underway very shortly. Just the final last few moments check, so we'll get ready to hand back over to JB in just a second as well. Thought that was a really good interview that we've just heard there from Pep Guardiola there this evening. Real Madrid are taking on Barcelona in La Liga this evening. 8 o'clock kickoff is that game tonight. The team who's in for Real Madrid is Lunin, Lucas Vazquez, Eder Militao, Rudiger, Ferland Mendy, Bellingham, Valverde, Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. is the starting lineup for Real Madrid. They take on Barcelona this evening at the Santiago Bernabeu. Kick-off there is at 8 o'clock this evening, and if we can just, what we'll do right now, we'll see if we haven't got in as of yet the Barcelona team news for El Clasico. Once we do, if we have it in when this game finishes, we'll bring you that team news for Barcelona just before the end of our programme this evening. One way or another, we'll bring you that. There, we'll keep you bang up to date then on the second half of Everton against Fulham, as the teams are emerging from the tunnel right now. Just one thing left for me to do is hand you back to the match commentator for the second half. He's back over to John JB Stuttard.
Thanks, Russ. Welcome back, everybody. And well, the Everton saga has had more soap opera stuff in than Brookside, really, when you think about it. The move to Bramley Dock has been hit by delays and whatever, but the stadium now looks in fine fettle as they will move over there. But then you're leaving Goodison Park. Then there's been the ownership issues, and then it's been Everton teetering on the brink for the last 3 years. It really does have the soap opera feel about it. Well, Dwight McNeil, top scorer with 3 goals this season. I'll be hoping that he can add to that, or maybe Everton can try and get their 3rd win on the spin before they are 3 on. Well, I say 3 on the spin. They've actually drawn and won the last 2, or 1 drawn and won the last 1. Fulham have lost 2 successive. And Calvert-Lewin will get us underway, and it's Everton attacking their favourite end in the second half, which is the Gladys Street end, actually now renamed the Howard Kendall Gladys Street end in honour of Howard Kendall, Everton's greatest ever manager, who passed away some few years ago now. A brilliant manager. Guided Everton to the 2 league championships, the FA Cup in '84 and the European Cup Winners' Cup in '85. The highlight of that run was that wonderful night here against Bayern Munich, where Graham Sharp, Andy Gray and Trevor Steven scored the goals that night. One of the greatest nights in Goodison's illustrious history, and there have been quite a number of them down the years. But can Everton mark another victory here at the Old Girl? Of course, there'll be the Merseyside derby to come as well. That'll be an emotional occasion as Anthony Robinson gets it away. Just to remind you of the teams: Pickford in goal, Young, Tarkowski, Keane and Mikolenko the back 4. Then it's Takori and Idrissa Gueye, the 2 holding midfielders. The attacking midfielders are Harrison, McNeil and Ndiaye. Calvert-Lewin is the central striker. Fulham with Leno in goal, Tete, Diop, Bassi and Warrenson the back 4. And then two holding midfielders, just like Everton, Pereira and Sanderberg. Three attack-minded midfielders in Traore, Smith-Rowe, who missed the best chance for Fulham, and Iwobi and Raul Jimenez up front. Referee John Brooks, of course, from Melton Mowbray. Long ball forward, headed on by Calvert-Lewin, looking towards McNeil down the centre, but it was well read quite easily in the end by Bert Leno. There's Leighton Baines, one of Everton's heroes, now the under-18s manager at Goodison Park, made over 420 appearances for the club. Came through the ranks, of course, at Wigan Athletic. Had a move to Everton not long after, and was a stalwart for the club under David Moyes for many, many, many years. Good player, good servant at Everton Football Club. Ball with Jordan Pickford this time, knocks it long down the field, looking for Calvert-Lewin, but again, straight to the other goalkeeper, in the yellow no less, Bert Leno, the German. Here's big, bulky Calvin Bassey. Dreadlocks tied back as he knocks it forward to Adama Traore. He's got a similar hairstyle. The ball out of play. Once again, goal kick. And it's the goalkeepers' union in the opening 2 or 3 minutes of this second half that are having the most touches. Took a little while for the game to get going in terms of goal mouth opportunities, but once the 25th minute had gone by, it was non-stop Mardi Gras, but still no goals. Let's hope we get some in the second half. It's been nearly 2 years, incidentally. I've commentated on a on live or delayed. 2 years since I've commentated on one, so on a 0-0 draw. So let's hope we can get a goal in the second half. I don't care who scores it. We want that run to continue. There's Decore in his own half, mainly inside his own half. Looks for McNeil. McNeil trying to get it down the line, but once again it was well read by Pereira. It's had a good game in midfield. And of course, being the sole commentator today, no co-commentator, I've also got to wrap my brains as well as describe the play, a possible commentary hub player of the match as well. So one will have to get his thinking cap on a little while. Here's Calvin Bassey. Ball knocked forward by Pereira, looking hopefully towards Raul Jimenez, who took it down well, but his first touch got him down. Then he clattered accidentally, I must add, in a Jordan Pickford. There was no histrionics. Jimenez knew what he'd done. He knew, and Pickford knew what was going to happen anyway. So, from that viewpoint, there was no going to be fracas as the ball comes from the kick down to Bert Leno, the other goalkeeper. It's like keeper to keeper at the start here. We get the other 20 players, the 20 outfield players. We'll just use the two goalkeepers. Right, Iwobi now on the ball for Fulham. 0-0. They've had the better of the opportunities. They've had more clear-cut opportunities, but then again, Everton have had the ball in the net, but disallowed for offside by the VAR. This is Adama Traore running at Mikalenko and Harrison too. And a corner kick has been given. In fact, it was Ndai, sorry, not Harrison. 5 gone in the second half. 5 minutes here on the TCO. Focus on football and Storm FM only. And Everton have got a corner to defend here as Fulham attack the Philip Carter Park Road stand away to my left-hand side after the former Everton chairman and former Football League secretary, the late great Sir Philip Carter, who did a marvellous job for Everton in the 80s. Here's Idrissa Gana again. It's hard to believe that Everton's last trophy, Idrissa Gana again, in fact, is being pulled down a cul-de-sac, and Pereira has certainly got himself in the frame for man of the match at the moment. He's certainly done that. And Everton get the free kick. Calvert-Lewin thrown himself down under pressure from Diop. Draws the foul, but Everton still can't get out of their own penalty area at the moment. This all of it sideways, which is making the Goodison crowd a little bit restless now. And now they're all knocked back again by Decore, and the Everton fans just getting a bit restless here. Fulham doing a good job tactically. Marco Silva has to be applauded for that. Former Everton manager, of course, Marco Silva, got the boot at Goodison. Did okay in his time here at Goodison Park, Marco Silva. We've had some good managers in recent years. David Moyes, Ronald Koeman, Roberto Martinez. But still, no major success since 1995. It's hard to believe. 1995 was the last time Everton actually won a major trophy. Maybe the move to Move Stadium will probably help demand. But will the new stadium at Bramley Dock down on the River Mersey catch the same atmosphere like a Goodison Park does? Well, only time will tell when they move there next season, but what division it will be, I'm not quite sure at the moment. Here's Berg finding Adama Traore on the far side, the right-hand side. But Mikalenko and Decore between them get Everton out of a bit of a sticky situation there, because Traore is a very pacey winger, as we all know from his Wolves days. That's going to be a foul, free kick. Just to remind you of the other scores that happened today. Aston Villa 1, Bournemouth 1, Brentford 4, Ipswich 3, and a cracker down at the G-Tech. Brighton 2, Wolves 2 at the American Express Stadium, and Manchester City labouring to a 1-0 victory over Southampton. But people really expected them to win 7 or 8, 9-0 really. Never going to be the case. Anyway, Pickford, right-footed, or left-footed, kicks away. Albert Owen with a header. And the ball won't break for McNeil on the edge of the area, but it'll break for Bert Leno, who's smashing it just towards halfway. The big long bomb, and referee gives Raul Jimenez the decision. Much to Everton's displeasure. Game against Trissagana. A free kick just inside the Everton half to Fulham, but they've taken short. And in fact, have gone backwards. Here's Calvin Bassey. Back to Bert Leno, who's just outside of his penalty area. And he's taking the ball midway towards inside the Fulham half. Down the ball, knocked into the Everton half this time. One pump ball to the left, looking for Robinson. But it's found Iwobi instead. Alex Iwobi. And Robinson, with a mop of blonde hair on the top of his head, smashes it in, the American, but he can't be found. No Fulham player could be found inside the penalty area. Sunderberg takes the ball up. Fulham looking for a way through. Both teams looking for a goal here. We've had, nearly 10 minutes of the second half. We still await the first goal here. Let's hope it comes. I'm praying that it comes. I've got a year and 11-month record without describing a 0-0 on the line here. Here's Smith Rowe, up towards the far side. Ball back inside to Adama Traore. Now then, Pereira lines it up, shoots right-footed, but shoots wide of the far left-hand post. And a goal kick to Everton, to the Basmali for the 30-odd thousand inside Goodison Park this afternoon. Just pulled it ever agonisingly wide of the target. Andreas Pereira. Where's Andreas on the back of his jersey? Everton's only really have a trophy. They're out the Carabao, of course. Maybe have a good FA Cup run as well. If they're high enough in the division and they've got enough points under their belts by the turn of the year, may have a go in the, might as well have a run in the Cup. Well, let's have a try and have a run at the Cup, because you You never know. You have to win they'll have to win a maximum of 6 games to get there now, due to the fact that there's no replays left to go at. Mikalenko chips the ball in, out of play off Traore for a throw-in. 2 Everton left with the Fulham edge of the Fulham penalty area on the far side. 1 goal now would really set this game up a treat. And Day turning away, but not from Adama Traore. Big bulky winger, as the ball now comes out to Harrison. Needs to dig count across here, Jack Harrison. Ball deflects. Will favour Bassey and Robinson and Iwobi. Lovely scale down on that near side. And Bassey with a no-holds-barred sort of clearance. It could have gone anywhere. And now Kenny Tete gets on the far side for Fulham. He's got Adama Traore on the elbow lap on this right-hand side. And it's Traore for Fulham. Infield to Pereira, who's had a marvellous game, incidentally. Certainly tried to make the midfield tick for Fulham very, very nicely. Dye knocks it back. Tarkowski gives it the boot. Calvert-Lewin can't get there. And then the ball knocked back into the Everton box. Tarkowski and Young between them coolly get it back to Jordan Pickford, who collects on the edge of his 6-yard line. 57 minutes gone. Everton 0, Fulham 0. On the commentary hub. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, incidentally, at Commentary Live 1. And if you want to follow us on Facebook, here's the address: www.facebook.com/The Commentary Hub. All the details are on the big ticker at the bottom of our screen there. And don't forget, tomorrow we've got a very good commentary game for you. The biggest of the weekend, in fact. Arsenal take on Liverpool at the Emirates Stadium. Paul James will be our Fox in the Box, flying in from Canada especially for the game. And you'll be able to hear his dulcet tones from 4:20 tomorrow afternoon. That's on TC Hub, Focus on Football, and Storm FM. Free kick comes in from Everton. Easy Gabbert for Bert Leno inside his penalty area. Game's just quietened down a little bit in terms of real excitement. Mind you, we had that same effect in the first half, but I'm still hopeful that we'll see some good attacking play and both teams will want to try and win it. Hopefully the game will become that little bit stretched as each moment goes by. Everton get the throw in. Harrison thought about taking it quickly, didn't have any options, so he's left it to Ashley Young to take, just shy of halfway. Just querying with John Brooks where he's going to take it. It goes short, in fact, to Jack Harrison. He's got Ndiaye breaking on the far side. That's a good run. Now Ndiaye. Now this needs a good cross from Mikalenko. It's too close to the goalkeeper. There was a man coming in at the back post, which I think was Dwight McNeil, possibly Calvert-Lewin. And in the end, it was a poor ball from Mikalenko, really. It was Calvert-Lewin who was darting in the back post. But he telegraphed that a little bit there, the cross by Mikalenko there for Bert-Len. It was too telegraphed, really. And it was an easy take. We've had an hour. Still no breakthrough. TCM commentary for a Saturday night with JB, John Stuttard, your match commentator, who in the last year and a half has not had a live 0-0 in any competition for this channel. Is that run about to end for me? Or is Alex Iwobi about to produce some magic? He is about to produce some magic with his right foot, and he smashes it into the net. And it's Fulham who deservedly, on the balance of play and on the chances created, take the lead on the hour mark. It's Everton 0, Fulham 1. And Fulham, you have to say, have been remarkably good value for this. And Alex Iwobi has scored an absolute perler. Let's work for another look here. Smith Rowe starts to move. Cuts in from the left-hand side. It goes in field. It must have been about some 20 yards from goal. Just inside the area when he struck it with his right foot. side of his right foot, finds the net. Jordan Pickford then diving to his right as he looked, and the England man couldn't get anywhere near it. And Alex Iwobi has scored a wonderful goal, and now Everton have to go for it if they're going to save the game now. But it's a lead that you cannot argue Fulham deserve to be leading. And that's Iwobi's second of the season, incidentally, when that was scored. So he moves level second place with Emile Smith-Rowe on 2 goals. So Everton have got it all to do. 1-0. Chance there for Harrison, who shot wide there as we were talking about that goal. It was flicked on by McNeil. He's certainly got a job to do now with Sean Dyche. Just run you through the subs quickly. Virginia, the goalkeeper. Patterson, O'Brien, Coleman, Branthwaite, Mangala, Lindstrom, Armstrong and Beto. If he wants to bring on a striker, of course. Fulham, Bender, Kueda, Harrison Reed, Wilson, Tom Kearney, Josh King, Ryan Sessegnon, Nunez and Reece Nelson. 1-0 Fulham. Russ will sort that out in a minute or two, the caption, but it is a goal for Fulham. They are winning 1-0. And as I say, the balance of play, they deserve it. Ball back with Jordan Pickford, who just never had a chance at all with the goal. Everton fans, Fulham fans listening in, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section. Please keep the comments clean. We are a family show. Everton 0, Fulham 1. A deserved lead for Fulham. And what a goal of absolute pure genius from Alex Iwobi to break the deadlock. We're just saying that I haven't had a 0-0 in nearly 2 years. And then Iwobi comes up with a piece of what can only be described in 2 words as pure genius. It was a super goal. And if they do hang on here, Fulham, it will only be their 4th win at Goodison Park. It will be their 13th win overall against Everton. This is the 35th time they've ever met in the Premier League, stretching back to August 2001 when Fulham first came into the division. Free kick to Fulham. Oh no, Ndai tried to claim that he was being held and not the other way around. But referee Brooks is not for that. Ian Hasterbury is an Everton fan. He's a famous musician. Not sure which band he is. I'm a bit of an old timer. I don't know who Ian Hasterbury is, but he's a musician by some repute. Meanwhile, here it's Iwobi running through in the middle. He's having a super game. Robinson with a cross back. Goalkeeper didn't hold it. It might break to Pereira inside the box. Comes to Robinson on the edge of the box. His left crossing on the left was well marshalled by the Everton defence in the end, but Iwobi making one of those central bursts, and it's come to Anthony Robinson. He tried a pot shot from about 25 yards on his left foot. I think he kicked more of the ground than he did of the ball because he absolutely scuffed it. And Everton, once again, making hard work for themselves. 25 minutes to play. We're coming up towards the halfway mark of the second half. Everton again giving away cheap possession, which is absolutely enraging their fans, I can tell you. Sean Dyche and Ian Wone, his trusty lieutenant, in conversation. As the Eagles would put it, it's just been one of those nights. Here's Calvin Bassey. Gets the ball back to his penalty area. Bernd Leno is waiting on the edge to take delivery of that. Now Calvin Bassey again. Plays his football for Nigeria, of course. Good ball down the line to Emile Smith-Rowe. What a coup he was for Fulham. They took a chance on him, paid a lot of money, 32 million quid it took them to sign a foul there by Pereira on a just a gay free kick to Everton midway inside their own half. Don't think Andres Pereira enjoyed that decision too much or approved the the decision too much. It did come in hard. And the most remarkable statistic about the whole game so far, we've not even had one booking in the entire match. And we've been going now for nearly 67 minutes. John Dyche barking out orders over on the far side. This is a time now where both managers will have to look at the benches, see what options could be on offer to change the game for either side. But it's going to be Reece Nelson about to come on for Fulham, number 19. Indeed he is. And it's Adama Traore that's going off. Another Englishman now on the field. And Everton have made a change. And it's Jack Harrison who's been replaced by Jesper Lindstrom, the Danishman. Well, Lindstrom have a positive effect on Everton's attack. Harrison has tried his heart out, but just hasn't had any of the lady luck that's been going. That's not been going. We've had 67 minutes and nearly 68 minutes now at Goodison Park. We're halfway through this second half. Everton 0, Fulham 1. Fulham having the better of it in the second half. 3 shots to 1 in their favour, 1 on target, which was the goal. They've had more touches than Everton, 62 in the opposition box. And they're bossing possession by about 20%, 60-40 in Fulham's favour. So that's why when I say they deserve to be in front, the stats, certainly on the second half anyway, back up what I'm telling you. And here's Smith Rowe, who's certainly a shoe possibly for a man of the match contender. And here comes Reece Nelson, cutting inside. Nelson's cross comes to a well on the far side, and Decore got it away before Smith Rowe could tap it into an unguarded net. How crucial could that be for Everton, and could that get them flying? Here's Calvert-Lewin, who's labouring really down the right-hand end of the ground. He's absolutely labouring. Just isn't getting the support from his midfield three. Or attacking midfield three. Shall be a concern to Sean Dyche, but then Fulham went to match up with them like for like. Sean Dyche in his time here at Goodison has tried to experiment with different kinds of formations. When he was at Burnley for the 8 years, he was at Turf Moor, and I covered half the games. I covered at least about 100 of the games that he was in charge for. Every week he would play a 4-4-2. And it would be very rigid and be very tough to break down the two banks of four. But he's tried to be a little bit more expansive whilst he's been at Goodison Park. Here's Dwight McNeil. McNeil running towards the edge of the area, trying to play Lindstrom in. But he can't be found. And Fulham can get it away. And they've done so workingly well with the other sub that's come on. Reece Nelson gets a bit of luck from Decore. Nelson is going to go over and give him a free kick. Decore bundled him down, there's no question about it. 20 minutes to play. Still 1-0 Fulham. They could have so easily been 2. And now, what's the referee giving here? Definitely not a penalty. It's an Everton free kick. Well, did go down in the area. We're watching a replay and that happened. This was the opportunity. And well, we put Traore Robert put the ball into a very good area, and if it wasn't for Decore getting back, there's no question about it, Smith Rowe would have had an easy tap in for 2-0. It remains 1-0 though, and still very much all to play for. Tete cuts that out. Keane goes in and Tete goes down as if he's been shot by Lee Harvey Oswald. And a free kick, I think it's been awarded to Fulham. Tete certainly won the ball first, and then, well, he didn't touch him. Mikalenko did not touch him at all. Tete, if he has won the free kick, has bought it off the referee. Well, John Frank's not making too many friends around Goodison Park. In fact, it's a throw-in. 10 minutes, last minutes possession. Everton, 36%. Fulham, 64%. And that backs up what I was saying, that the right team deserve to be in front in this football game. Backs up my viewpoint entirely as Pickford kicks long. Everton need a goal from somewhere. And Dye is offside on the far side. 18 to play of normal time. And it's still Everton 0, Fulham 1. And I'm very grateful to Alex Iwobi for that piece of magic, because it looked like it could end 0-0, but not on your Nelly. Some good games coming up next week as well. FA Cup back next week on the TCO. Fulham Brentford looks a tasty match on the 4th of November. That's on Monday night. Kick-off for that one, 8 o'clock. But our focus next week will be on FA Cup football. Of course, the Carabao Cup returns in midweek. Some tasty games in that one during the week. Some very good sides left in it, of course. As Pereira comes forward. Fulham incidentally reached the League Cup semi-finals last season. Were beaten over 2 legs by the eventual winners at Liverpool. It's Smith Rowe now in possession. Fulham don't need to do anything silly now at this stage. But 1-0 is always a narrow lead in these circumstances. So you can never tell what might happen. This is Bassey. Oh, he did well. Showed a lot there. Showed a few tricks there to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Bye-bye. See you later. Beep beep. Now Pereira, midway side of the half pass, but that's surely going to be offside there. Banker's got up, I think, against Reece Nelson anyway, regardless of what may have come out of that. And if he had put the ball in the net, the linesman would have flagged anyway, which is it's definitely not Darren Cann, because he's on the near side. It would have been Simon Bennett. He was the man who chalked off the goal in the first half for Calvert-Lewin. Here's Nelson. Good break down the left-hand side. The substitutes really made an impact. He goes down. John Brooks has a good look. Says he got the ball. Of course, Stuart Atwell on the VAR will have a bit of a look at it. We're looking at the replay now. It's a good run by Reece Nelson. Come on, he's made a real difference down this Fulham left-hand channel. Yep, just again got the ball. Everton in possession. Midway inside. With Decore now to the far side. Ndiaye can't. Just hasn't been his day, Ndiaye. He's tried every trick in the book, but Fulham have been very, very coy about it all. They've had a good defensive unit, good defensive backup, and they have that goal to show for it, and that 1-0 lead is a very deserved lead at this stage of the match. I don't think too many people would, not even the most biased of Everton fans, would have any quarrels with Fulham being ahead at this stage. But Everton, it's up to them now to really pick up the pace in the last 15 minutes. 75 played. Everton won a free kick. John Brooks was 5 yards away. Knew it was a good tackle, indeed it was. That was not a good tackle by James Tarkowski, however, and he's going to be the recipient with 76 minutes almost gone. The first yellow card of the contest. He's not happy, but it was a definite foul there. Must admit, there may be an argument there for Smith Rowe to be booked as well, because it didn't look as good a challenge as I first thought. Maybe I could understand Tarkowski's frustration to a certain extent. So Tarkowski, with his second yellow card this season, is the first man in the referee's notepad. Everton 0, Fulham 1. It's the scoreline here at Goodison Park. Ball back to Bernd Leno. It's been one of those days where it's just been a decent game of football. Not if you're an Evertonian at the moment, unless they have a comeback of Titanic proportions. I should try to get it out. Nearly did an outright from open 0 hours. He's now then, can Ndiaye produce a little magic himself? He's got to the byline. Mikolenko rather with the cross. Might fall for Ndiaye. Mikolenko trying to make things happen, but it's not going to be easy. And here's Adama Traore on the break. It's 2 against 2. It's 2 against 3 in Everton's favour. But it's Raul Jimenez. He gets the break. He gets the break of it twice. It comes to Reece Nelson, edge of the area. This is a good counter-attack. Maybe a fortunate counter-attack. Shot comes in from Smith Rowe. Jimenez shoots over the top. Whizzes into the Park Road stand for a goal kick for Everton. But that could have been curtains for them. Good play. Jimenez had hurt himself earlier in the build-up. Smith Rowe cut the ball back. Well, he had the shot. It came to Raul Jimenez. Just dipping over the bar. But it was whizzing all right. Miscued it in the end. Went wide as well. 12 to play. Harry Wilson and Harrison Reed both coming on now for Fulham. And Pereira limping off. And told to limp on the near side. On the far side, that's the challenge from Goodison again. Actually, it's drifted off towards the far side. It was the far side it happened, not the near side. And we're also seeing Smith Rowe withdrawn. Harry Wilson on, and Harrison Reed is on as well. 11 and a half left to play. 78 minutes gone. Or 78 and a half minutes gone, or 3/4 minutes now gone. Everton 0, Fulham 1 is the score if you've just joined us. A goal on 61 minutes from Alex Iwobi. A bit of magic from the former Arsenal man, giving Fulham a deserved lead. And on the stats and on the balance of the game, it's a lead they've merited. But Everton now looking for Ndiaye to try and find a bit of magic, get themselves back into this game. Comes to McNeil, edge of the area, left-hand side. Uses Ndiaye again. Now McNeil. McNeil, one of Everton's shining lights, looks for Calvert-Lewin. He found him, but Calvert-Lewin was been underneath the header. And looks to try and get in Lindstrom, but he can't be found. And in the end, another yellow. Is it another foul? No, just a throw into Fulham. If they do hang on to win, it will surely be a very worthy victory. But Everton are making 2 changes. Decore is off. And also coming off as well is Ndiaye. So Mangala and Beto and Calvert-Lewin, I have to say, apart from the Goodison goal, has been absolutely nowhere whatsoever this evening. But to goes to say he's been appallingly bad. What a concerned looks on the Evertonians. Don't forget you can join the chat on the TCR Focus on Football or Storm FM if you want. Keep your comments clean. Here come Fulham looking for this killer second goal, which would put them on to 14 points mark, just find them into the top half of the table with a bit of luck tonight. Well, who knows? I've been good value for it. Here's Adama Traore. Or Robert Alexarobi, rather. It's gone to the far side. Adama Traore's got off. Just, you can tell I've been out of practice for about a month. That is Calvin Massey. Hands on hips, just casually plays the ball into Iwobi. Back inside again. To Reece Nelson, towards Iwobi. Good football here. Raul Jimenez inside the penalty area. Might break to Reece Nelson. And it just wouldn't break in the end. Just again did well, held up his man. He went flying, but referee Brooks was quite happy with that. And Dying now plays the ball back. They need something to happen. They need a goal from somewhere. Can Mangala provided a good effort as well, but it's straight in the arms of Leno from Lindstrom. And the Danish man was denied. This was Lindstrom, right, left foot, got a deflection, well saved. That said, it was a save despite the deflection that you'd expect Bernd Leno 99 times out of 100 to get. And Dwight McNeil's down on his haunches. That's when Everton and Sean Dyche lead at the moment. Is Dwight McNeil out with an injury. Ian Lone, Tony Loughran looking on. Well, Steve Stone rather looking on. No Tony Loughran at this time. Looks like the knee to me. Just looking at Connor Cody there. Not too far from us in the commentary box. So we've got a breaking play at the moment. Just to remind you of the other scores that have come in. Just to remind you that Aston Villa and Bournemouth drew 1-1. A bit of a surprise there at Villa Park today. Villa goes so well in Premier League and Champions League, top of the Champions League stage at the moment. Out of all the teams, out of the 32 teams, they are top of the pile. But held today against Bournemouth. We've got a late equaliser with the last kick of the game. Brentford 4, Ipswich 3. Ipswich were 2 ahead in that game, but went to contrary to a late goal from Brentford. Brighton and Wolves drew 2-2 in just a dramatic game down at the Amex. And Manchester City laboured to a 1-0 victory over Southampton. Sunderland are now. It's been that sort of day. In the Championship, let me remind you of that. Remind you of those scores. In the Championship, it finished Bristol City 0, Leeds 0, Coventry 3, Luton 2. Luton were 2 up in that game, but lost. Watford 1, Blackburn Rovers 0, Burnley Creespot Rangers. We'll say nothing more about that other than it was 0-0. Derby 1, Hull 1, Plymouth 3, Preston 3. Plymouth were 3-0 down in that game. Sheffield United 2, Stoke City 0, Sunderland 2, Oxford 0. Millwall winning at Swansea. It means Swansea have not scored at all in the month of October. And West Brom and Cardiff finished 0-0. It's where Fulham comes charging forward once again. And in fact, but Sunderland lead Burnley by 5 points now. Burnley second ahead of Leeds on virtue of the fact that Burnley do have a slightly better goal difference against rather than for. Dwight McNeil looks as if he's not going to be able to continue. And on in his place comes Jared Branthwaite with 5 minutes to play. Let's hope Dwight McNeil's injury is not too serious. Everton needing a few snookers though as each moment ticks by. As we're coming to the end of the game. In the Scottish Premiership, there's been a late goal in the game between Aberdeen and Dundee United, and it's gone the way of Aberdeen in that one. as Beto goes forward, but Leno's out bravely and he's hurt himself. Ambrose, the scorer for Aberdeen, on 84 minutes. There were 4 minutes to go in that game too. Aberdeen 1, Dundee United 0. That is a latest score. And in that respect, if that was to end that same, they would go 3 points ahead of Celtic, who play tomorrow. Put that into context. Unbeaten, along with Celtic. 1-8, draw 1 if this was to stay that way. Aberdeen. In the cricket this afternoon, it was absolute chaos. England 267. But we'll break away from the cricket because Everton have a corner. Bradthwaite's going to take it. I'll say Pakistan won that game by 9 wickets. And the series 2-1. Corner comes in. It's a disappointing corner from Jared Bradthwaite. Maybe a little bit cold now. He's been thrust into the action. Young hits it straight into the mix once again. Everton looking for a miracle here in the last remaining seconds. 2.5 minutes. Player of the match. I'm going to give Andres Pereira full, but wait a minute. Here's Wilson breaking forward on the far side. It breaks back for Jordan Pickford. My player of the match, man of the match, Andres Pereira. He's made the midfield tick. He's had a good game. Certainly won't cost for the likes of Roby, who scored the goal, Adama Traore and Emile Smith-Rowe, but Andres Pereira for his work rate in industry and prepared to get himself dirty when the going got tough is my unanimous choice as player of the match, sponsored of course by Commentary Services. Andres Pereira, the man of the match. Ashley Young now for Everton. A minute and a half left to normal time. Bassi, who's had a good game himself. And that's a good ball round in there, but Nelson, just too much on it for him. And there's confirmation of our man of the match, Andres Pereira of Fulham. Jordan Pickford has not got time to cloud about. We've got a minute of normal time to go. Everton in big trouble, disarray. 3 unbeaten going into today, 2 wins and a draw. They'd take a draw at this stage now, if you'd offer it them. And they need to come up with something magical in the remaining time. They've only got 45 seconds of normal time to try something out here. Here's Ndiaye and Mikalenko too. Mikalenko needs to be a good cross. It got Beto! And it's a header that was going into the left-hand corner, but it was well held by Bert Leno. Wasn't a particularly good header. He got the direction, just not the power or the accuracy, but Leno read it like a book. 15 seconds of normal time left. Fulham on course for an amazing victory. Can Fulham hang on? We're going to get confirmation now from fourth official League Doherty. 6 added minutes, a minimum of. Sean Nash knows that this is extra time that Everton could bail themselves out of trouble with. No McNeil on the bench, no Calvert-Lewin. They're the top scorers with 3 goals and 2 goals respectively. It's down to one of the others to bail Everton out of jail here and get themselves a point. A point on balance they barely deserved. And there was offside there, but the referee allowed it to go on. They take the free kick quickly. The free kick's been awarded. Everton have not got time to lake about at this stage. They've got to get it forward. But Fulham, so resolute defensively, have put in a very good performance away from home in front of an intense Goodison Park atmosphere. and have played some really swashbuckling stuff here this evening by the banks of the up here on the Mersey. Now Ferry is crossing the Mersey. Here's Young. Everton need a goal from somewhere. It doesn't make good reading for a team who are going nowhere fast anywhere up the table. They've got a new stadium to move into, but they're not going to be sure what league it's going to be. It's a bit early in the day to start talking about relegation at a time like this. New orders coming in, and they can't do anything until January. Awelby and Raul Jimenez both off. Looks like Marco Silva will be happy with the one goal that he's got, and we'll try and shore it up. Alex Awelby, in fact, got the television player of the match, but I don't base it on goals. I base it on work rate and dedication, and in my opinion, Andres Pereira was more worthy. Kadenka and Nunez both on. We've got about 4 minutes of the allotted 6 remaining. The ball on the far side, and it's Fulham who lead. 61 minutes, Alex Awelby got the goal. Tarkowski knocking it forward. They're hoping and praying that Everton can get themselves a level, and Michael Keane has stolen forward. Tried to dot it across the goal, across the face, into the far right-hand corner of the net, but he wasn't going to succeed. It went well wide. And it's Marco Silva going to claim a famous scalp, a famous victory against his holding players. It looks that way. Media radio jingles and gaming says 100% agree with your choice of man of the match. It's not all about goals. Quite right too. And of course, let me remind you, as soon as we get a break in play, that we'll have all the El Clasico team news on our Twitter feed. And you can find us at the bottom of the screen. Commentary Live 1, incidentally. If you want to go visit that for our latest El Clasico news, of course, the El Clasico kicks off in just under 40 minutes time from now. 1-0 to Fulham. Can Everton find a goal from somewhere? Trezeguet, who was a very good player in his first spell here at Goodison Park, but has waited a bit in his second spell. And Dye plays an outful cross. Young is lurking across the face, and he's been turned in. Beto has them on the count for Everton. Goodison Park comes alive, and Everton are out of jail. It's 1-1 at Goodison Park. What a lovely ball this was. Mikalenko right in there, then the cross from Young. And Beto from about, 6 yards with a header beats Bert Leno, and Everton somehow, somewhere, have got themselves out of jail. He may have got a deflection on the way in as well. Wow! He beats his beats his fist to the ground with a minute to go, and we've got a grandstand finish. Goodison Park erupted in one big cheer. Cheered as one. Their unbeaten record will now stretch to 4 if they can hold on for 40 seconds or less. Anthony Robinson. Fulham will feel so aggrieved. They deserve victory, but they've snatched the draw from the jaws of victory. More late drama in the Premier League. Not that we've had enough of it already. We had late drama at the Amex, we had late drama at Villa Park, we had even more late drama at the G-Tech Community Stadium. And now we've had late drama at Goodison Park. It's been a remarkable day, and not only that, 15 goals over the course of 5 Premier League games. Not a 0-0 in sight. We've played the 6 minutes. Fulham have a set play. Or Everton have a set play, rather. Beto, the hero. Iwobi looked as if he was the hero. Fulham do have that set play. I beg your pardon. One moment of genius could win the game. Karenka is in there. Nunez is in there. They're all lined up on the edge of the area. What's your delivery like into the penalty area? It's not a bad one, but it's headed away. Robinson. Now then, Reece Nelson, who's done a lot of tormenting on that left-hand side. We've played 40 seconds over the 6. Fulham have possession with Sanderberg. Berg into the area. Berg trying to get the shot off. Trying to tease defenders not once but twice. And the shot comes in from Reed, and it's over the top. And surely that must be that. And indeed it is. The final whistle has gone. And Everton have saved themselves. Beto, in the 4th minute of stoppage time, has saved Sean Dyche's team's unbeaten record, which now, with that draw, stretches to 4. But spare a thought for Fulham. Spare a thought for Fulham, who played so well today and deserve more, a lot more, you have to say, than the point they have finally got. It's been an amazing game. Not blessed with too many goals, perhaps. And in a lot of circumstances, 1-1 may have looked like a sort of mundane type game, but it's been nothing like mundane to this evening. It took about 20 minutes to get going. Swift Moe missed a glorious chance in the first half. Calvert-Lewin had a goal rightfully disallowed by the VAR. Trissagard again in the same mood, hit the bar. Iwobi missed the sitter. And then in the second half, Iwobi scored the opening goal after 61 minutes. Everton had chances. It looks as if it wasn't going to be their night. Fulham had defended so resolutely. Then in Dyer's cross, the ball knocked back across the goal. And Beto, with an header, has saved Everton's skin. And Beto, for tonight anyway, is the toast and the saviour of Goodison Park. What a day, what a dramatic day in the Premier League. We've had late drama, not just here at Goodison Park, but at Villa Park, at the G-Tech Community Stadium, and at the MX2. Manchester City have won 2 against Southampton. It's been a remarkable, dramatic day in the Premier League. It's finished here. Everton 1, Fulham 1. And I'll tell you what, Ross, this game never, ever ceases to amaze me. 1-1, it's finished here at Goodison Park.
Thank you very much, JB. What an end to the game at Goodison Park this evening. We all thought Fulham were going to nick the 3 points thanks to the goal early on in the second half. But it was not to be. It was not to be for Fulham. After Beto breaks Fulham's hearts. Rather than, let me remind you of the Premier League scores from earlier today and from last night as well. In last night, he finished Leicester City 1, Nottingham Forest 3. Today, it is finished Aston Villa 1, Bournemouth 1, Brentford 4, Ipswich Town 3, Brighton 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Man City 1, Southampton 0, and the game we've just covered, Everton 1, Fulham 1. We did hear at half-time of our programme the thoughts of Man City boss Pep Guardiola on his thoughts after their 1-0 win over Southampton. So why not now, let's go and hear the thoughts from his opposite number, Russell Martin, who's also been speaking to the BBC at the end of the game today.
Well, in the last line of commentary, I said the Southampton manager will be quite proud of his team's defensive discipline and resolution. Was I wrong or was I right?
Yeah, I'm proud of more than that. I think the courage he had on the ball today as well, and the way he played through them at times in the build-up was incredible. We had some big moments ourselves, so I'm really proud on both fronts.
I mean, you're not going to come here and be open, are you? But you have moments.
Yeah, we had more than most, I think, when they come here, and the level of courage and intensity to run for each other and play football in our way and to do what we are asking them to do was incredible. So I'm really proud of them for that. And I think we'll take a lot of belief from today, not just the way they defended, especially after going 1-0 down so early, the character that took, but the character to actually play in the way that we want to. And if we are going to lose, which we are going to, of course, at some point, at least do it in a way that we feel proud of the performance, and I can accept that.
Were you unhappy with the way you conceded, or is he just a monster goal scoring machine?
The gap's too big. We worked on trying not to leave anyone 1v1 with him as much as we could in the box, but yeah, he's the best in the business for a reason, I guess.
Just explain Jack Stevens' role today. It was a sort of hybrid role, wasn't it?
Yeah, he'd done it lots last season for us. He was immense. Him and Adam helped the team a lot with their experience and voice and character, and yeah, we'll change depending on the position and what we need, without losing who we are. And I think they did that brilliantly today.
Are you frustrated then that this run has gone on without a point on the board, or do you see enough today with the way your team was disciplined to be hopeful?
I see enough today with the discipline and the mentality. The lads really believe in the way they work and what they do, and we have to just maintain that. We should have more points on the board. Like, that's not just subjective. Objectively, we should have more points on the board, and we just have to keep working in our way. And today we were more us than we have been for a long time with the ball, and we defended with real mentality and guts and spirit. And if we carry them things forward, we'll be fine.
Do you think then, because you were braver on the ball, the goals will come, because that's crucial, isn't it?
Yeah, we're playing against one of the best teams in the country, but we defended less today than we did at Arsenal because we're brave with the ball. We need to defend with the ball as much as we possibly can.
There was the thoughts of Southampton boss Russell Martin speaking to the BBC after they lost 1-0 to Manchester City this evening or this afternoon. I want to say a big thanks to those who have tuned in today. Really, before I do that, let me just recap the table. Before I do the table, let's read these comments out here from Media, Radio, Jingles and Gaming, who says, massive moment for Everton and for Goodison Park, as we know, Everton will be leaving Goodison Park next year. It says, what a moment, can't repeat it enough. It says, well, we all thought Everton would go down to the Championship next season. Looking at this and their last game against Ipswich, he thinks, in his opinion, that they will be playing Premier League football next season at the new Everton Stadium. And he also says, brilliant from the Toffees. So let me recap the Premier League table as it stands right now, going into those games tomorrow, and then I'll recap what games we've got coming up tomorrow for you. Top of the table, say Manchester City, 2 points clear from Liverpool. They take an Arsenal tomorrow night commentary game at 4:30. Aston Villa in third on 18 points, as I mentioned. Liverpool second on 21. City top on 23. Arsenal in fourth on 17. Brighton in fifth on 16. Nottingham Forest in sixth on 16, dropped down a place following Brighton's victory earlier today. Chelsea are in seventh on 14. Tottenham in eighth on 13. Brentford in ninth on 13. Fulham with their point today away at Everton sit in 10th on 12 points in the table. Into the bottom half then, Bournemouth in 11th on 12 points. Newcastle in 12th on 12 points. Manchester United, they're in 13th on 11 points. Leicester in 14th on 9 points. Everton with that point today returned to Fulham. They're now on 9 points. They sit 15th. West Ham dropped down a place to 16th, but they play tomorrow. Ipswich, and they're on 8 points. Ipswich in 17th, just outside the bottom three on 4 points. They'll drop into the bottom three should Crystal Palace pick up all 3 points. Or even a draw tomorrow in their match. I'll tell you what they play. Shortly, Crystal Palace currently sitting 18th on 3 points. Wolves are in 19th on 2 points after their point earlier today. Southampton bottom still on 1 point from 9 games after they lost 1-0 to Manchester City earlier today. What we'll tell you now is, we'll tell you what games we've got coming up tomorrow for you. At 2 o'clock, all these first 3 games kick off at 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Chelsea against Newcastle, Crystal Palace against Tottenham, West Ham United versus Manchester United. Then our featured game from the Premier League tomorrow afternoon, 4:30 is the kick-off. It's Arsenal against Liverpool, where you can watch it, where you can listen to the coverage on all the platforms we've heard tonight, with this game on today, which is Commentary Hub, focused on football on Storm FM. For EFL action and European leagues and specialist shows moving forward, they'll be on Commentary Hub 2, JB Sports, and my very own personal Twitch channel. If you want to go and check out, it was pvernon_92 is the Twitch channel where we'll be. Also, all the other leagues, so the major leagues across England, so the WSL, the Women's Champions League, international matches, the European Games of Champions League, Conference League, Europa League, they will all be on these channels that you've heard this game on tonight as well. We're splitting up the frequencies to get more people tuned into all the other channels that we broadcast on, and also to get more subscribers on those as well as we move forward. I would expect that we may have a Burnley v QPR review over on JB Sports in the coming out probably tomorrow, and I would probably expect on the next day or two from JB himself, keeping out over there on JB Sports for anything Burnley related from JB and some of the football coverage that we'll be doing over there, starting on Tuesday evening in the Carabao Cup. Tuesday evening we'll have some Carabao Cup action for you. Tuesday evening it is Southampton against Stoke. Hopefully we'll have that one on with Nicholas Jones for you, and we'll keep you updated with Brentford against Sheffield Wednesday in that coverage as well. So we'll keep you bang up to date with the Carabao Cup action. Then not sure as it stands right now if we'll have a game on Wednesday evening, but we will let you know where they'll let you know about that. The Commentary Hub 2 as well, but we'll let you know Tuesday evening if we'll have a game on Wednesday for you. So our next live offering comes over tomorrow afternoon. It's Arsenal against Liverpool at 4:30 kick-off. Join Paul James for that one. I'll be involved as well, and hopefully we'll have Mike Conlon involved somewhere along the line on that game tomorrow as well. So thank you very much for listening to this one this afternoon. From myself, Russ Vernon, and JB, and welcome back to JB. His run of 9-0 continues as we leave you then with the scoreline from Goodison Park this evening. Everton 1, Fulham 1. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you again soon. Take care. It's goodbye for now.